Hey guys, so we're back at Grammy's garden. We have some flower buds coming in and we've just watered the garden. I cut down some arugula and I left it on the flower bed. I don't know if this is supposed to be like a green cover crop. I'm not sure if I should wait to do that when it's fall. So let me know in the comments if you know. And our compost bin update is that we have to make it a bit more protected. After reading a book called The Compost Coach or Your Compost Coach, it offered great advice. So I'm going to share that in this video with you guys on what I've learned and what I'm going to establish throughout the summer months. We are a bit behind for compost. It would ideally be a time to start in the early spring, obviously with composting throughout the winter. I think we got our red wigglers in March, so yeah, but we're on the way there. And so yeah, I need to find a lid or something to cover it and something to aerate it. And what I was reading about that was a PVC pipe or a stick. I'm going to do a bundle of sticks because it's free, so why not? Anyways, we are going to the neighbor's to harvest some rhubarb that she's sharing with us, and then we're going off to a wedding. And I have my first summer market tomorrow, and we're getting into the busy energy of what summer brings, but may it be nothing but abundance for you all.
All right, guys, so this is our garden update. It is a small one this week as it is still underway. Our garden is still blooming, but lots is coming up, like our yarrow buds and our chamomile. I didn't replant this, y'all, so this is coming up from seed, and it is so exciting. And it is always nice to just see the flowers returning, especially for perennials. And this is our bee balm, and this is our second season with her, so I'm hoping that she flowers and buds. Then we have our mugwort plant and our calendula. Look at the color on this leaf. I think this is going to be a colorful patch of calendula. And then our strawberries, we are having a hard time with the animals eating the berries, so if you have any advice, I would appreciate it in the comments below. We did some pruning and our thyme is coming in big and bushy. We gave some away to share. Our green onions are still there, and our oyas are really working great. We are enjoying them. And here is our garlic. We have some garlic scapes, but we wanted to save them until the following week to harvest. And some more calendula. This patch is more of the original calendula. And then we have our melons. I'm learning lots about the melons and also the composting. So I'm reading this book called The Compost Coach, and she recommends when you're doing a barrel like this to mesh the bottom and put cardboard underneath, which is something that we will be doing when we get the materials. And then we had some visitors in the garden, and this is the wild grape bush, y'all. I love foraging from this bush and making wild grape juice. And then of course my little helper and I are together watering the garden. I enjoy sharing this journey with my son, who is almost 2. He loves playing with water, so we're filling up our watering cans. We're adding in our weed tea. This is just all the weeds that we harvest from the garden and just throw in this bucket and keep it submerged in water. This is supposed to be like a natural fertilizer or a way to give nutrients to your soil. Again, I'm still learning about this, and I have discovered another way of doing that I'm looking forward to sharing with you in future episodes. Also cut down our arugula as it was going to seed, and we're going to make room for more things that are going to be coming up in the next following months. And I did leave this on the soil. I didn't know if this was like a fresh cover crop kind of thing, but I'm just experimenting. And then we have our oyas refilled. All right, y'all, so this is our setup here at grandma's, and then my mummy's neighbor invited us over to harvest some of their rhubarb, and I was grateful for that because I was looking for some more rhubarb to get in the freezer so we can use them at a later time. I'm thinking strawberry rhubarb pies and mini pocket pies and all of that sugary goodness. Then I did a mini tour of her garden. This is her tomatoes and I believe zucchini patch. and that is our little harvest. And then also she has this wildflower patch in the front of her yard, and I truly love that, and I'm inspired by that. And then we got some strawberries from hubby's work. We ate them up super quick, and Amir loved them, and I'm grateful he loved them because he is a picky eater, y'all. And let's move into the food. Let's get into the food. So we're going to be making budget-friendly items as we ran out of meat and we didn't have money to replace it yet, and we were still waiting on our meat order to come. And this is just a lentil patty inspired falafel ball just by using some seasonings that you have at home. I use fresh seasonings, and I added in some others like garlic, salt, and pepper, and I added in chickpea flour to help bind it together, and put that in and stirred it up, and then until it forms like a nice consistency where it's like not too sticky and it's keeping a good texture. You'll form a nice ball, and I bake these in the oven, but you can certainly fry them. I think they might be even more nice fried. And then this is the arugula from our veggie garden that we harvested in the last video, so we still have that going. Yes, so we actually just chopped this up fresh on the side, and it is so nice. If you haven't had arugula, it has like a spicy kick to it. And then we are doing pitas. I will link the video in the description below for the recipe to these pitas. They are super simple. You make them in one day. You do have to give some time for the dough to rise. So this is the final result of the lentil patties, and we like to say that it is like an idle dish. It's a vegan dish.
Hey guys, so in this episode, I'm going to also share chickpea falafels. We're going to make chickpea falafels, and this is something that we want to have in the freezer prepped for when we are without meat. If you don't know, we buy our meat from a farmer, and sometimes we have to go without it, either that we're waiting for the next order or we can't afford the amount we need. So we have to substitute with legumes and beans, and we don't mind a little idle dish every now and then. So we are going to batch bake some falafels and freeze them so we can reach for them the next time we have to go without meat. And we love to have the falafels with pita or rice with a nice tahini, hummus dressing, or even a peanut sauté dressing, any kind of dressing, a nice fresh one with the herbs from the garden these days. So I'm using whatever I have on hand for these falafels. Some people go and get like dill and all of these seasonings, and I can't do that right now, so we're just using what we have. We are putting some spice into it, but they are going to be super fresh. Anyways, let's get into it. Alright, so you're going to take your onion. Can you pass me the chives? Can you pass me these? Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. So we are going to process these ingredients in a food processor. If you don't have one, I'm sure you can use other things. We found ours for $15 at the thrift store, and it is taped up, y'all, because my son broke parts of it. I added in arugula to these chickpea patties this time to give it some more flavor. My suggestion with these falafels is to make a tahini dressing. I will share the one that I'd use below, and it is too divine. It's very fresh. You can have this with a salad with the pita, and it is a very filling snack. And then also we're saving our green onions to regrow our compost scraps that we are carrying outside. And this is a bundle of our fresh local veggies. And since we had these strawberries, and it was such a hot day, I decided to make like a mashed strawberry drink using a few of these strawberries, and I just used them in the pestle and mortar. So I mashed them down, and I used this lilac syrup that we made, and then poured it over ice, added some water, and gave it a stir. And then that is the dish, y'all. We went foraging and found some horsetail, red clover, and cleavers, and then we also visited the farmer's market and got whatever we could for local produce. And we went to Bulk Barn and refilled some of our containers with peanut butter, flaxseed, and oats as I try to help my son get nutrients and protein and all of that stuff, as he seriously is being a picky eater. And when I got home, when I get home with food. I like to put it away properly because it's probably not going to get done at another time. So I always lay it out and organize it. A lot of the time the veggies have to be put away properly so they don't go bad on us. I find that putting them in some water with a baggie over it helps preserve their freshness. I clean up the lettuce by chopping it up and rinsing it off and laying it out to dry, putting away the rest in a bag. And same with our veggies, we pack them in a bag. It helps them preserve longer, and it also helps us eat them as they are already prepared. We just have to reach for them. And this is our dinner, y'all, that hubby made. It is a curry chicken with parsnip instead of carrot, since we couldn't find any carrot, and some fresh salad and pickled rhubarb with rice and peas. And honestly, that is the only thing that's not local, is the rice and peas and maybe the potatoes. And I'm thinking, why not try to eat as locally as we can and get all of that seasonal goodness? And yeah. And guys, this is the Comfrey garden. Comfrey is a beautiful herb. It has great medicinal properties. It was used by the indigenous people of this land, the original people of this land, for many centuries. But it does have some concerning qualities that we will discuss in the next video. So make sure you subscribe and stay tuned, because we will be talking about comfrey and how we can use it.
Much love.